Hi, thanks for joining us on the Nourishing the Community Podcast, where we're going to be talking about all things happening in the community with nonprofits and community needs and how you, the listener, can get involved and make some change. I'm your host, LaDonna Parham. This is my co-host,
Norman Hanks. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us on Nourishing the Community Podcast. I'm LaDonna Parham with Nourish Food Bank.
And I'm Norman Hanks. And in the hot seat today, we have Miss Sheryl Chestnut from the Boys and Girls Club of Murfreesboro.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thanks for coming. We're so excited to hear all about and share with the community all about the Boys and Girls Club and everything y'all have going on. Take it away. Tell us everything.
Well, I'm so honored to serve at the Boys and Girls Club of Rutherford County. It was established 37 years ago.
Wow, we're older than them.
By community leaders who wanted to make a difference. There were kids after school, out and about, hanging together, not necessarily doing horrible things, but needed supervision, needed care, needed the kind of life-changing programs that we have. So they came together, raised the funds to start a club that started right across the street from McFadden Elementary. And now we're 3 clubs strong. We've got a club in Murfreesboro, a club in Smyrna, and a club in Shelbyville. And we serve over 2,000 families a year. I might as well go ahead and tell you our mission because I love it. It's so dear to my heart. But it is to enable all young people, I love that, all young people to reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. So we like to take children ages 5 to 18 and invest in programming to help them dream bigger, to help them academically, to help them stay healthy, and to help them have fun in a safe environment. And we help a lot of kids every day. We pick up after school. You'll see our buses out and about. Powered by Christy Houston. Most
Christy
of them,
Houston
aren't they a wonderful foundation?
They
really
do so
help.
much in our community.
They sure do. So we pick up kids after school from over 32 schools in Murfreesboro, Smyrna, and Shelbyville. We bring the kids to the club. They have an afternoon snack. We have tutors in our club to help them with homework. And then we program until pickup. And very unique to us, our clubs are open until 6:30 for the working hard commuting families from Nashville. You can hardly get anywhere by 5:30 or 6 o'clock for a pickup.
Right.
So they've got time to get to their kids, pick them up. They're already fed. Hopefully they've had their homework completed.
That's
and
great.
When they get home, they get to have good quality time. So we love what we do. We love our kids and our families. It's fun to watch the kids grow up from peewee to graduating senior, and then fun to have them come back. And most of them do after they graduate, just to say thank you. They don't always recognize at the time what a difference it makes, but as adults, they become community servants.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So how long have you been with Boys and Girls Club?
I have been there for 7 years. I retired from corporate America and felt passionately about serving my community. And my daughter, we picked up a daily news journal. Can I say that in this room?
You can say that.
And they said, "Hey, Mom, look at this job in here. You should apply." And I'm like, "Well, I don't have nonprofit experience." And they said, "I know, but you have the heart. You should just apply." And so that afternoon, I sat down and I wrote a letter to the board of directors requesting an interview. And
That's awesome.
2 days after I retired, I was contacted to interview for the role.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. And so you say y'all have locations in Smyrna, Murfreesboro, and Shelbyville.
Yes.
The Smyrna site has been there for
It opened
a good
in
10
that
to
site
12
opened in
years?
2010.
Okay, so 13 years.
Yeah.
I wasn't far
That
off.
site
I
opened in
remember it opening.
2010. Yeah. And we've got kids that walk from 5 schools there. We send staff over and they walk over, but it helps us with our costs that they can get there. It's in a really great location. And then in Shelbyville, it's a smaller club. The Smyrna Club is actually the biggest club, serves more kids than any club in the state of Tennessee. Our footprint is really big in Murfreesboro and Smyrna. We have great we have a great location. It's very central, and people can get to us easy. And we have big yards. It's important that kids don't get to play outside at school like they used to.
No.
And they've got to get their energy out,
Yeah.
And so I love it. I love it when the seasons change and it's not so hot and they get off the bus. My office sits right where the bus drops off kids in Murfreesboro. And I get to see them jump off the bus and, they have the big smile on their face. They're
Right.
running for the door. They're going to have a snack. They're going to get to play with their friends. They're real excited to be there.
That's awesome. So, on any given day,
Mhm.
how many kids do you think you've got at each location?
Sure. Yeah. We call it our average daily attendance because not all kids come every day. So we
Right.
register almost twice of what our daily attendance is. So in Murfreesboro right now, we're serving about 180 kids a day. In
Wow.
Smyrna, it's about 230. In Shelbyville, it's right around 50.
Okay.
2 weeks ago in Shelbyville, we had a ribbon cutting for our new teen center in Shelbyville. So we've got a modular unit in the back of our club, which is an old converted Pizza Inn.
Fun.
That was donated. We turned that into a boys and girls club right there on Main Street
That's
in
amazing.
Shelbyville. And then this modular unit is going to be a teen center. So we've been serving kids because of our capacity just up to age 12. And now we can serve them to age 18. And we had great attendance, not quite the diplomats of Rutherford County, but we had superb attendance in Shelbyville for that event. Our mayors came, Representative Pat Marsh came, and other community leaders. And we're so excited to help teens in that community. We have teen centers in all three of our clubs now. Not all boys and girls clubs have teen centers, but what our goal is to, help, I don't know, polish the kids off before they graduate, right? So if we can
Right.
help with ACT prep, if we can help with soft skills to help them land a better job, it doesn't matter if they're going to a community school or a technical institute or a college. Those soft skills are going to help any child, right? But if we
Right.
can help them get ahead, we work on workforce development. We've landed a couple grants this year for virtual reality headsets that let them literally try careers on.
Oh,
So they get
wow.
to choose the career path of the program of the headset they put on, and then they feel like they're in a bulldozer or
Hmm.
they feel like they're in a hospital. Literally, they turn the corner down halls. They see patients. It's unbelievable.
That's really
That's
cool.
So
phenomenal.
they can complete like up to 40 hours in a career through virtual reality per child. And then our goal is to pair them with a community leader in that
Field.
area, that field, so they can get some mentorship before they leave too. And then we try to do college tours each summer with our teens.
It's awesome.
Do you, I guess two things coming out of that. One, with the VR sets,
Mhm.
do you have any of them coming out being like, I wouldn't have thought of this career before, but now I think it's amazing and being super excited
For
about a
sure.
pathway?
It's brand new to us, but it's really exciting to have like young girls say, I could do construction too,
Hmm.
Mhm.
or I could be an engineer, or a child that's never thought of something like that, right? It just really opens their eyes up to bigger things, and that's what we're trying to do. We want them to reach their full potential, and sometimes kids don't even recognize what they're
Right.
capable of. But we can open a door and give them an opportunity to walk through in a fun way. Kids are learning while they have fun. We trick them into learning
Right. That's the goal.
with great staff.
Yeah.
And and my favorite thing is when you call a kid to leave and they're like, "Do I have to go now?" Their parents are happy that their child can be in an environment where
They
they
don't wanna go home. Not
yeah,
that they don't wanna go home to their parents, but,
exactly.
like, they don't wanna leave their friends and the fun that they're having.
Because it's a good place
Yes.
to be if they can't
Mhm.
be at home with their family because their parents are working so hard.
Right.
Most of the kids we serve, and not all, but most of the kids we serve come from low income families or single parents. The last time I checked, I think it was over 58% are from single parent households. And their parents are working very hard, many of them in hourly jobs.
Mhm.
And they just want the best for their kids. And
Yeah.
so I'm glad that they feel the best for their kids is with us after school.
That's great. And you mentioned that, a huge number are low income. So do you guys operate on a sliding scale fee, or how does that
We
work?
do. We operate on a sliding scale key. Our regular, just for any child cost, is $40 a week. So it's less than $10 a day for full after
And they
school
get
care until
snacks
6:30. They
and
get snack, dinner, and homework help. Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah. But then if they can't pay that, we want to meet them where they are. We've got many families on Families First. We've got many Atlas children, homeless youth that we serve, and we actually have a partnership with Rutherford County Schools in the summer to serve Atlas kids at our clubs, and so none of them have to pay anything. And then we try to raise the funds for our homeless youth to be at the club for the rest of the year.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Just for anybody who might be listening who's not familiar with the Atlas program, Rutherford County Schools, and they have a comparable program at Murfreesboro City Schools. It's their fuel program. But the Atlas program works with designated homeless students. So that's not necessarily just kids living on the street. That might be they're in a car, that might be they're in a hotel, or they're couch surfing at different friends or families' houses. It looks like a lot of different things, but it is not having that stable home that is theirs that they're in consistently. One of the big pieces of that is providing food to them. And so the school counselors at different schools in the area will work kind of surreptitiously to slip those Atlas food bags into the backpacks of these students so that they have food to eat on weekends and holidays when they can't access the free and reduced lunch. So, for example, Nourish does about 500 of those a month, and we have um, dinner Friday night through dinner Sunday night to make sure that they've got breakfast, lunch, dinner, even snacks to get them through until they can get that next free or reduced breakfast at school. So that's a huge thing that serves over 1,400 students right now through Rutherford County Schools. And it's amazing to see all the different ways that it partners with community organizations
Yes,
like
we want
Boys
to
and Girls
serve
Club.
any of those kids in the summer or year round if we can get them to us. We want to serve them. In fact, their office was just at the Barfield Elementary School, the Atlas office for parent resources, clothing, whatever the resources
Right.
might be. And we have partnered with them and opened an office in our Smyrna club. So parents on the north end of the county in Laverne or whatever don't have to travel all the way to Barfield, especially if they have transportation issues or they're low income, and they could come to our Smyrna club. And that helps us in two ways, right? Because then the parents gets to see our club as a resource for them. Or their kids can just hang out while the parent is being counseled in whatever way that the Atlas resource counselors are assisting.
And that's huge because we know families don't necessarily want their kids to have to be a part of those difficult decisions and discussions and the vulnerability of seeking help. They would rather their kids be insulated from that and just be a kid, have a good time. And so it's wonderful that they can do that there.
Yeah.
You mentioned that you guys pick up. How many schools do y'all pick up from?
30. It's either 32 or 33. And we will add more. we will add more. Adding more comes with adding drivers.
Right.
So we're always looking
Always looking for drivers.
Yeah, I'm like, we have a free bus on the lot. That means we could get to more kids if we can find a driver. But we're very blessed. Our drivers are mostly retired drivers, mostly retired truck drivers or bus drivers that have the proper licensing, and they just love the kids, and they come in and they work just in the afternoons for 2.5 hours.
I love that.
Yeah, it's great. They're wonderful. And we have a bus aide on all of our buses. I wish all school buses had a bus aide. Our kids appreciate that, buses can be scary for a little person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have bus aides on the buses. Some of them, this gives me an opportunity to talk about another partnership. Some of them are MTSU social work interns. We have paid internships at our clubs through MTSU School of Social Work. And we place them strategically on the right buses, and they'll do things with the kids on the bus, like if you were going to describe how you feel in a color, what color do you feel like today? And they'll just have conversations like that on the bus to keep things going, to tap into how kids are feeling and to start conversations in a good way. So it's really great that we can, start the job on the bus before the kids get there.
And I think it's incredibly important to give them that outlet to talk about how they're feeling. The mental health crisis that's going on with our youth today is pretty overwhelming. Suicide rates, especially among upper middle through teen years, is through the roof, and
horrible.
growing every day. It's horrible. So anything that programs like yours can do that just is an intervention point is this person cares what I have to say about how I feel today, even if it's just right then, it's something, that's wonderful.
We're very hopeful for a grant award that we've heard good things about that will allow us to add a counselor at each of our clubs.
That would be great.
Yeah. We would love to have a staff person just to be dedicated, right, to mental health.
And everything is after school. You don't do programming during the day except during the summer.
Except during the summer and school breaks and snow days. Like we're calling our drivers when when parents get the phone call, hey, your kids are getting out of school early.
Mhm.
Our bus drivers are hitting the road, right?
Do they then pick up from neighborhoods, or the parents get the kids to the school and they pick up
On
at the
a
school?
full school day, when they're not getting out in the middle of the day, on a full school day, we'll open the club at 7 a.m. for parents to drop off
Okay.
on their way if it's a snow day or something like that. But, if there's bad weather threats or half days or
Mhm.
whatever, we pick up on those days
Okay.
early as well. And then kids are with us during all their breaks. And that's a relief for parents too. So many parents don't have options. And I think
True.
we're a great option. In
It's
fact,
a
there
great
are some
option.
kids that we only serve on breaks, that they have afternoon care, but they don't have break care. And so we register them for our services so they can use them as needed.
I mean, we talk all the time. All the time.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's so tired of hearing me say it, but it is so true, and I cannot emphasize in this community enough because I really want somebody in the community to make change regarding this. So I'm just gonna keep hammering it home. That the biggest barrier that, you're tired of
Yeah,
hearing me
no,
say
I
it, I'm
love it. I
sorry.
love it. I agree
Tell
with
me,
you
But
so
tell
the
much
me.
on it.
biggest barrier that our clients face, that is the difference between them walking around like we are or sitting in my lobby, are those people resources, and the biggest chunk of that is childcare.
Yes.
And so when that childcare isn't available, they have to miss work,
Mhm.
and as you mentioned, they're most often hourly work, and our clients are working at least one job, often 2 or 3, but it's hourly work, and so they are easy to replace, or it might feel to their employer like they're easy to replace, and so if their employer feels like they're not reliable, come January and February when school's closing because there's a snowflake that somebody smelled in the air 6 miles away,
First
you
of all, we
know?
look forward to those moments. Thank you, but keep
And
going.
I understand that the schools have difficult decisions to make because the buses do have to
Yes,
get into
yes.
rural areas, completely get that, but, that leaves those parents incredibly vulnerable, and if they don't have those people resources, and they don't have childcare, then they have to miss work to
Mhm.
leave early to pick up their kid or to stay home with their kid, and
Or
so
they leave their kids
having
home alone, which is
Yes.
not good either, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And so having that resource
Mhm.
absolutely doesn't just provide for those kids in that moment. It provides their families with an opportunity to work and maintain stability and sustainability in this community. And that is worth so much more than we can
It does, and
say.
I even say with our snack and our meal program, it reduces their grocery cost immensely
Mhm.
because they're not feeding their kids dinner when they get
And
home.
groceries are so expensive.
They are.
So expensive.
They are.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know?
and you just said it's not always good for kids to be left home alone, but we also have to recognize that there are families out there that do that,
Mhm.
and it's
And they
okay for
don't
them because that's what they have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
there is no
yes.
judgment placed on
Oh,
those
absolutely
families.
Right.
not. No,
I
they
mean,
Right.
I
have
was
s
raised a latchkey kid, right? The bus
Yes,
dropped
Yeah.
me off, and we went
yes,
running through the
yes.
field,
Yeah.
so
I was latchkey too,
we
but
probably needed a Boys and Girls
You
Club,
should.
but
But,
yeah,
families are doing everything that they can,
yeah,
and so that stopgap piece that the Boys and Girls Club is providing is
huge,
huge.
huge, and you've already told us the numbers of kids that y'all are currently serving. Are y'all looking to expand those numbers anytime
Yes.
soon?
Yes,
Because it's
no.
hard to get your kids into the programming at Boys and Girls
Well
Club.
well, so we are rebounding from COVID. We were
Right.
on wait list at our clubs
Yeah.
pre-COVID, And a lot of parents who used us before are maybe stay-at-home parents now. And so our numbers are growing, and we're trying to grow them at a rate of like 10% a month, because that's about as fast as you can hire a new
Yeah.
staff person and get
Right.
them ready for the floor, right? Because we have one staff per 20 kids. We're Department of Education certified. That helps us with some of the food grants and programs that we're on. So I'm like, yeah, let's take 20 more and hire one more, and let's keep doing that until we reach our pre-COVID numbers. We want to max out our facilities. So in Murfreesboro, we would like to be around 250 kids a day. In Smyrna, we would like that number to be up around 300. If we've been on a wait list, and we probably were last summer, it was because we were trying to find staff.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Well, and we have such a low unemployment rate in our community, which is wonderful.
Mhm.
But within those who aren't working, if they are not working, as low as that is, most likely they are either a stay-at-home
Mhm.
parent who's providing that childcare, because childcare is so expensive and
Mhm.
difficult to
Mhm.
come by.
It's cheaper to
Um,
stay home and take
It
care of
in
the
a
kid
lot of
than
cases
go
it
to work.
is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or working from home with their
Especially
kids in the next room.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. And that's if you have one kid. You know what? It's I wanna say it's an average of $1,500 a month right
Mhm.
now for basic childcare. That's not for,
Wow.
anything fancy, and that's for a child. So by the time you have 2, I mean, a family
Right.
yeah. Um, or they don't have access to that childcare. So those second and third shift jobs, which is another piece of what I was
Mhm.
mentioning
Mhm.
earlier that I'm always harping on with childcare, and you know this, you've heard me
Mhm.
harp on it.
Mhm.
But that's a big part of where those remaining open jobs are, but people can't take those jobs because there's no childcare. I think it's great that you guys are open till 6:30 so that people can take those jobs that don't end till 5 in Nashville and can get home, but it does mean, those second and third shift jobs are still open, so
You know,
it's
we
tough.
tried. We tried. We joined a partnership with the Chamber of Commerce and a few others with United Way. It was Workforce Development, United Way, us, and several industrial employers to see what it would look like to open our club for second shift close and keep kids till 10:30 or 11 o'clock. And so we prepared to do that for a semester, but we didn't get enough calls. And I don't know if that was because people didn't know, or they really didn't want to get their kids up from a dead sleep and go, and then take them home and put them in bed. Would it be disruptive? I'm not really sure why it didn't
I think there's a
take off.
huge part of it that it takes a while for awareness of something like that to take off. Like, running a Saturday program or a night program, for example, when you haven't done that for
Mhm.
40 years, when we add that, you would think immediately people would be like, "Oh, nighttime, I work. I haven't been able to go. I would love that."
Mhm.
Or Saturday, "Yay, I work.
Mhm.
Now I can go." And it took months for each of those to get off the ground, because anytime you're working in a more vulnerable community, it is such a word of mouth
Yes.
community. And
Mhm.
so just the time it takes to get somebody in, see that it's okay. And, there's definitely in that kind of situation, you have to have a certain number enrolled before it makes sense to
Right.
have it. And so there's only so long
Yeah.
you can build it. So it's
Yeah.
just a catch 22. But thanks. I'm always leaning away from my
Yeah, you took
microphone.
off that time. I'm sorry.
I'm
I was
sorry.
like, come
I was
back.
like all the
We're
way back
losing
here.
what you're saying. Come back to us.
But yeah. So, but I think it's amazing that you guys are open till till 6:30, because it
6:30.
absolutely gives people a chance. So many close at 5 or 5:30, and what are families supposed to do?
Yeah, and
So
I
I think
think
that's great.
it's important to recognize that there are other programs that provide late night childcare in other cities that are truly remarkable programs, but it took them time to get there, right?
Yeah.
It took them time to get the clients in because people need time.
And so you have volunteers.
We do.
What do your volunteers do? How do they volunteer? What do you need?
Sure. No.
That's fine.
We have a volunteer coordinator, and volunteers can apply to become part of our volunteer corps. on our website, which is www.bgcrc.net, Boys
Wait,
Girls Clubs of Rutherford County.
BGCRC.net. BGCRC.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
It is a big one.
BGCRC.
But we have
.net.
a volunteer
.net.
we have a volunteer coordinator to talk to you about volunteer options. Some of the most popular ones are helping with homework help, because we have that every day after school.
See, I would think that would be the worst one to do.
Oh, but you
have to sit there and be calm and keep them calm.
they were teachers,
They've been
and
at
now
school
they're
for 8
coming in.
hours.
No, it's wonderful. They enjoy it so much.
That's
We have a lot
awesome.
of group volunteer events where groups will come in and have academic parties, maybe after report cards come in. We've got volunteers that come in
that's
and have
fun.
monthly birthday parties. We'll have businesses come in and do a field day with our kids or do trunk or treat. During the holidays, volunteers can adopt children. We've had over 200 adopted for Christmas. You were talking about parent dignity before, but the way our adoptions work is parents who need assistance fill out a form for their child with needs and with wishes. It gives us their sizes and a few items. Up to $150 spend is what we're looking for per child. All that comes to the club labeled in trash bags, and parents pick it up before their kids are called, because we do door pickup like schools do in their programs. And so the parents, get to set it out on Christmas morning, and kids have no idea that mom or dad needed help and someone
That's
else did
awesome.
the shopping. And that's what I love most about it. Yeah,
I
it's
love
really
that.
sweet. Yeah, it's very
It
sweet.
is so important for parents to have that dignity and also to have that special time with their kids
Yes.
that I did this for you. And they did. They may not have purchased those things, but they paid attention to those needs and those wishes, and they reached out. I think there can be such a stigma about accessing needed resources.
Mhm.
And if we accomplish nothing else through our work and through podcasts and opportunities to talk about it, it's to reduce that stigma, that it takes courage to say, I need some support right now. I need help to get through this. And so being willing to do that for your kids is a huge act of love. And I just hope parents see that. So I think that's awesome that you do it that way.
Yeah, we love the holidays. It's a really special time. It's a real special time.
So we've talked about sorry. You want to go?
No, I was just going to.
I was going to move into an event.
Yeah.
Is that where you were headed?
Mhm.
Awesome. Sorry.
You're fine.
Wavelengths are crazy in here. So y'all have a major event every year, fundraising event, and it's
Yes.
coming up, yes?
It is next week,
Okay.
Tuesday, October 24th
October
at 6
24th,
o'clock at MTSU.
6 at MTSU in the Student Union
Gronk.
Center, right?
Yeah, Student Union Center. The
It's been there the
Gronk is
past couple
coming
of
to town.
years. The
Yeah.
Gronk, whatever that means.
Okay, so I'll tell you what that means.
Shut up, Trent.
Rob Gronkowski. He's retired from the NFL, but he was he was a receiver for Tom Brady. So he played with the Patriots, and then
Okay.
when he transferred down to Florida, and maybe a football person can tell me his last Florida team, because I don't know which one it
Who was
is in
it,
the
Trent?
NFL.
Is it the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh,
It
wow.
was. Thank you.
I'm impressed, LP. What
Way to
was that
go.
coming out of you?
I don't know.
Okay,
Let's just
so
move on.
I know him best from his silly commercials. You will see him all over TV right now doing commercials during games.
Okay.
He's hysterical. He's done them for Subway. He's done them for insurance. He's done one for men's personal grooming. You need to look them up. I'm not going to explain any further.
Cheryl, I
fancy,
feel
things
like
and
you
it's-
need
It's
to.
fancy.
No, I won't.
This is an adult-friendly show.
It totally is, totally.
Then look it up. Rob Gronkowski.
Oh my god.
He's really funny,
I'm
and
gonna
so
look it up right now because
he's going to do a
intrigued.
Q&A, and we're going to have a live auction with Jay Cash, and we have one event a year. We have 900 community folks coming, so
I'm one this year for the first time. I'm so
Yay,
excited.
I'm so glad. I love to see our community come together and have fun, and we really we've had sports related speakers for a while, but when we moved to space at MTSU, it allowed us to drop several events we did a year and do one big one. I have the best board. Oh, they're wonderful, and they fill the house. And it allowed us to bring in a major speaker and do one big event and exceed giving that we've had in the past. And it really helps us with our operation. But it's so much fun to have 900 people in a ballroom laughing.
Yes.
Especially after what we went through, several years ago. Last year we had Jay Leno, and he was hysterical. We had the best time with him and raised a record amount, which helps our clubs. I think at this stage in my life, I will probably work 10 more years. But in 20 years, 25 more years, 30 years, I want to be driving through town. I hope I can still drive, or someone's driving Miss Daisy. I want to see the Boys and Girls Club. I want to see it there. I want to see kids outside playing. I love it when people go by and honk the horn because kids are out running around playing football. They're in the playground. They're playing basketball outside or whatever. I want the clubs to still be there. I want them to be thriving. I want to have more.
So they can, so our community can support the club and help it thrive and be there for when you're driving around.
Yes.
By supporting the steak and burger dinner, but also how?
General donations. Remember us with your IRA rollovers. Remember us if you have to give for a tax break. Remember our clubs, and through us, you're helping families in need. That's one thing I love about our community is so giving. And our nonprofits are such a loving nonprofit family. I use the word love a lot. That's why I left corporate America. I couldn't say love all the time like I can now. We love a community that has great citizens who need help. And we work together to ensure the help they need. So it's not just giving to the Boys and Girls Club, it's giving, given whatever nonprofit in our town makes sense to you and makes your heart feel good. We're working together. We're going to help. We're going to make a difference. We're going to fill a stopgap where government can't or isn't choosing to make an impact. But if you want to give to the Boys and Girls Club because you want to help the very special families we serve, we will put your funds to good use. And you can designate it if you choose. You can designate it to something you're passionate about. You can designate it to a new playground. You can designate it to helping with a new bike track that we just received a grant to build in November. I'm so excited about that. You can designate it for an art program. If you're passionate about that, there's so many ways we can help connect you to your passion and giving if that's something you want to talk about. And I'm happy to tour anyone that wants to schedule an appointment to tour the club to see it in action. I promise your heartstrings will be pulled a little bit. It's a wonderful place. Our clubs are wonderful places, and I will meet you at any of them to talk to you about what we do every day.
That's awesome. And so they would find information about giving or contacting you for a tour on your website.
On our website.
dgcrc.net.
You got
You've been
it.
over there
See?
practicing that way.
I have.
And you
It's
knew
been
it was
rolling through my brain. You know how it works.
Once you got it though, right?
It's in there.
It's in there. Yeah.
.net.
Yeah, I say .net.
No, I know.
.net.
I think
.net.
people are used to .com or .org, so I want to be like .net.
It is interesting that it's a .net.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that is so exciting. What do you want everybody to know about the Boys and Girls Club that we haven't talked about?
We've talked about a lot.
Have we? Sorry, Sheryl.
We have. It's okay.
We do that.
But partnerships are important too.
Yeah.
So, I love connecting to businesses that want to get involved. I can talk to them just like I can do a personal tour. I can come talk to your employees. I love to I'm involved in other nonprofits because I'm passionate about their cause and it's connected to our families and our kids. So, my plea for everyone is to, if you want to give back, find a nonprofit that's been established in town, that's been doing great things and do great things through them. It's possible to make a difference. And collectively, we are stronger. When we collaborate, we are stronger. So, we have partnered, Nourish has distributed through us because we have the kids and we have the families. Greenhouse has done the same thing. I love partnering with other nonprofits because we are serving the same people who are good people, who are working hard, who face challenges that many of us can't even imagine. And it makes an incredible difference.
It absolutely does. And partnerships are so important to us and collaborations. And that's why we started this podcast, was to have an opportunity to shine a light on all of those, or bring a light to all of those nonprofits in the community, and what they're doing together and individually to lift this community and help everybody stay stable and supported and healthy and happy.
Well, I'm just so honored to talk about it today with friends. It's fun
Yay.
to do this type of things with friends. I appreciate that you have a podcast that brings this all to light.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and letting everybody know, and everybody check out the website and think about your end of year giving and your volunteer opportunities as you've got business groups or school groups or church groups that are looking to volunteer or get involved. And check out the website, which is
bgcrc.net.
there you go.
Yes, or like us on Facebook. I do want to mention that because if you like us between now and next
yeah.
Tuesday, you will see a link to our live auction. And that's another way that you could buy Christmas presents and benefit the club. We have some great auction items this year.
Give me 5.
5 auction items. We have some great trips. Everybody loves a good trip. We have some items from the peddler. We have some items we have some artwork from some community leaders that love to paint on the side.
Nice. I bet Jeff Carlton's in there.
Well, the Jones are in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're real excited to have some. And we always, one of our most popular items every year is a delightful painting from a club child. And it usually
Aw.
is one of our highest selling gifts. And then, yeah, we've got liquor. So if you like to buy that for Christmas gifts, you know.
She's like,
I
"We
do like
have
to drink it
liquor."
for Christmas, so keep that in mind, folks.
That's funny.
Anyway.
Well, I'm so excited to attend. I haven't been to a steak and burger dinner in at least 1,000 years, back when I was a reporter and in Williamson County, and the Boys and Girls Club did a steak and burger there, and it
Yes.
was a much smaller affair. It was in like the courtyard of a major donor's home, I think, and
Yeah.
I had a burger. And I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
it was back in the
Well,
day.
I think we're
but
having barbecue, but we call it steak and burger. It's spelled STAKE. You have a steak, making things better.
I
And
love
we
it.
just haven't changed the name. I guess we need to rebrand it. But we're at MTSU. Talk about great partners. They are a wonderful partner. I'm so glad that we have a club in a college town. Almost 80%, I should have mentioned, 80% of our part-time staff are either alum or current students.
Go Big Blue.
Go Big Blue.
Always supporting the community.
And, you know, and it's helping them make career choices. It's social work kids, education kids, recreation kids, kids that are studying public health. I mean, we support what they're studying, and they get hands-on experience
Mhm.
before they graduate to see if this is something they want to do with their lives.
Yeah.
So it's a great option. But yeah, we're so excited. We're so excited. And I thought we were closing, and then I just ramped right back up.
No,
I know,
I
we're
love
so-
it.
We're super excited by the passion and the enthusiasm. So thank you for joining us
I'm
today,
glad.
Cheryl.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sorry I didn't ask about socials. Are you on Insta, TikTok,
We're on
Snapchats,
Insta and
any of them?
in Facebook, Insta and
Okay.
Facebook. And we probably need to get on the rest, but
I
it's
know
just so
it's
hard to
it's
learn everything.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
So find them on Facebook, find them on the Instas.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here, Cheryl.
Thank you. And as always, thank you to our producer, Trent,
Thanks, Trent.
with Spread the Positive, bringing light to what's going right.